Hello friends, I'm Narendra Verma once again before you. In Accountancy for class 12 CBSE Syllabus, we have finished the chapter number 5, that was admission of a new partner. And now it's time to start the chapter number 6, that is retirement and death of a partner, right? So in today's session, we are going to have discussion on concept of retirement of a partner. Alright, whenever we finish the retirement part, then we come to the death part. Okay, few things are similar, that is why these have been kept under the same chapter. Understood? So in today's session, what we are going to have discussion on: meaning of retirement, liability of a retiring partner, accounting treatment or adjustments required on the retirement of a partner, determination of new profit sharing ratio, but theoretical. Today we will not do the numerical part, it will be done in the part 2 video. Okay, and determination of gaining ratio, theoretical, and difference between sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio, right? So without wasting much time, let's start. So meaning of retirement of a partner, what does it mean? It means that whenever any partner ceases to be the partner of the partnership firm, that is known as the retirement of a partner. Okay, say for example there are 3 partners in a firm and one of those declares that he no longer is willing to be the partner of that firm. Then if 2 of those agree, thereafter his retirement process starts, and this entire process is known as retirement of a partner. Understood the point? Now let's talk about this in detail, why a partner retires and in what circumstances he is allowed to get retired, right? If we see the practical aspect, a partner may get retirement due to his personal reasons. May be possible that he has become old and not able to work. Okay, may be possible that he has fallen prey to any kind of illness which is stopping him to work as an active partner. Okay, or there may be some other kind of personal reasons. Okay, so that is what the practical aspect. Now let's talk about the provisions in the Partnership Act. What kind of provisions are there? See, like I told you in the beginning when we started the chapter of partnership, that partnership is what a kind of agreement between 2 or more persons, which can be oral as well as written. Okay, so if in the partnership deed there is one provision of retirement as well, means it is already specified that who will get retirement when, then obviously just to follow the provisions of partnership deed, the retirement process will definitely take place. So one point is that if this provision is mentioned in the partnership deed, right? Another point, when this provision is not mentioned in the partnership deed, in that case if any partner is willing to get retirement due to his personal reasons, then other partners, means remaining partner, must give their agreement on that. If they do not agree, the partner cannot get retirement, right? Okay, like I gave you the example, if one partner is willing to get retirement, then the other partner must agree to this, right? 2 cases. Now let's talk about the 3rd case. Okay, there is one kind of partnership which is known as partnership at will. At will means as per the wish, any partner can take any step, right? So if the partnership is there at will, then in that case any partner who is willing to get the retirement, he just needs to give a written notice to all the remaining partners or the partners who are going to continue in the firm, right? In that way also he can get the retirement. Okay, so according to Partnership Act, there are 3 cases to get the retirement. One I told you, when it is mentioned in the partnership deed. Another I told you, when it is not mentioned, then other partner must agree to it, right? And the 3rd case, when the partnership is there at will, then in that case he just needs to give a written notice to the other partners and then he can easily get the retirement. Understood the point? Now let's talk about what will be the effect on the partnership, means the firm. Okay, when I started having discussion about the reconstitution of the firm, then I told you that reconstitution of firm takes place due to change in profit sharing ratio among and between the partners, and when a new partner gets admitted to the firm, and when any partner gets retired or he dies, right? So this case is applied here. Whenever any partner gets retirement or dies, in that case the old partnership is going to end and a new partnership is going to be formed, right? Say for example there were 4 partners and one gets retirement. Okay, so when he gets retirement, then other 3 are going to continue. So in that case the agreement which had the names of 4 will come to an end and the new agreement will be formed including the names of only 3, right? And there will be various other changes, okay, because the profit sharing ratio is going to change, right? And several adjustments will be needed. We'll be having discussion on this in a little while, okay? But remember one thing, whenever the reconstitution of the firm takes place, the firm does not discontinue, right? The operation of the firm continues. This is the end of the relationship between or among the partners, but not the end of the firm. Understood the point? Now let's talk about the another topic that we have for today. This we have covered, liability of a retiring partner. This is an important point. Why? Because it can be asked in 1-mark question, okay, or if you go anywhere for interview etc., at that time also it can be asked, right? See, everything happens according to Indian Partnership Act 1932, okay, and according to Indian Partnership Act 1932 there is one section, that is section 32, that is applied in case of retirement of a partner, okay. So as per the section 32 subsection 2 of Indian Partnership Act 1932, any retiring partner remains liable for the act of the firm up to the date of his retirement, right? One more point is mentioned there. Retiring partner can be discharged from his liability by doing an agreement among himself, third party and other continuing partners of the firm, right? So by this we understand this. Say for example the partner gets retirement on 1st July, okay, and this financial year was started on 1st April. So from 1st April to 30th June, whatever acts were done in the firm, the retiring partner will be liable to pay all those debts, as well as he is having right to get the profit as well. Understood the point? But when it is declared in the public parlance that he is no more a partner, then there is no liability of his for the act of the firm. And section 32 subsection 3 states that any retiring partner remains liable for the acts of the firm even after getting retirement if he does not give a public notice. Means it's very important point. Say for example you have partnership with some people, okay, you get retirement but you did not give a public notice, then the remaining partners at any time can claim on you for the payment because you have not given the public notice. So it is very much important point. If you are getting retirement from the partnership, then give a written public notice so that the people, means the third parties who are doing business with the firm, must know that you are no longer a partner of the firm. Understood? So these 2 points are applicable related to the liability of partner. So remember these, okay. Now let's move on to the next topic of today's session, that is what? Accounting treatment, or we say adjustments required on the retirement of a partner, right? See, whenever new partner comes into the firm, or ratio changes, or any partner goes due to retirement or death, then definitely some accounting treatments or we can say the adjustment need to take place. So on the retirement of our partners, what accounting treatments are done, I just write down and then I will have discussion about it, right? So accounting treatment on retirement of a partner. Okay, this is the accounting treatment to be done. Fine. Determination of new profit sharing ratio and gaining ratio, right? Like I told you, whenever any partner gets retired, then that is reconstitution of the firm happens. Okay, and as I told you that whenever any partner gets retired, then the profit sharing ratio between among the remaining partners is going to change, right? So determination of new profit sharing ratio and gaining ratio, because any partner is getting retired means his share will be acquired by the remaining partners, so means they will be gaining. Okay, so this we are going to discuss today. Second, valuation and adjustment of goodwill, right? Like other two chapters, change in profit sharing ratio as well as the admission of a partner, we did the valuation of the goodwill and the adjustment of the goodwill. Same here as well, the goodwill will be valued as well as the adjustment will be done, because the partner who is getting retired, he has also put his efforts to bring the firm on the level on which he is living right now. So whatever efforts he has made, the remaining partners are going to get the advantage of that, and he is losing his share as well. So he must be compensated for that. So that is why adjustment of goodwill will be done. Okay. Next, revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities, right? Because every partner has right on the assets as well as the liabilities. Okay. So whenever any partner gets retired, then at that point of time also revaluation account will be prepared, in which we will see the revaluation of assets as well as the reassessment of liabilities. Okay, and the profit and loss will be transferred to the concerned partner's capital account, including the retiring partner. Understood? Next, treatment of reserves and accumulated profits or losses. See, if any kind of reserve is there, whether it is general reserve or any specific reserve like investment fluctuation reserve or workman compensation reserve. Okay, and accumulated profit which has not been distributed or loss. Okay, so treatment related to that has to take place, because the retiring partner also has share in all of these. So whenever he is going, whether it is a profit or loss, he has to get the share. Okay, if it is a loss, the loss will be transferred to his capital account. If it is a profit, the profit will be transferred to his capital account, right? Okay. Then after doing all these adjustments, okay, means adjustment related to goodwill and revaluation of assets and liabilities and reserves and accumulated profit losses or any other adjustment. Okay, we make a total of retiring partner's capital account, and then after balancing, we see that how much amount he needs to be paid now. Okay, because he invested some money as his capital, and his capital account must be debited due to some losses, okay, but must be credited as well due to some profit. Okay, so at the end we just calculate how much amount needs to be paid to him, okay, so that he can happily go to his home. Okay, so for the same there are two options: one, to pay his entire due in lump sum, another to pay his due in stock, because it becomes a kind of burden on the firm. Okay, sometimes the lump sum payment can be afforded by the firm when the amount is small and the firm is having huge revenue. Okay, but if the amount is more and the firm is having less revenue, in that case what the firm does, firm opens a loan account by the name of retiring partner. Okay, and in the period of 3 years, 4 years, firm keeps on paying him in installment, including interest, right? And there is a provision of 6% per annum rate of interest on the retiring partner's loan, right? Or as it is agreed between or among the partners. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing. In case of installment, computation of interest on retiring partner's loan, we need to calculate the interest and we need to prepare the retiring partner's loan account. Okay, but this topic has been deleted by CBSE this year due to COVID-19 pandemic, right? So that the stress of the student may be reduced. So this year, as it is not a part of syllabus, so we are not going to study that. But I just wanted to tell you that this is also the part of it. Maybe possible in further classes you need to learn that. Okay. Another, adjustment of capital if so agreed by partner. Okay. Any kind of adjustment of capital partners can agree, but this topic again has been deleted by the CBSE this year. Okay. So out of all these topics, we are not going to learn these two because CBSE has deleted these this year. In further classes we will be learning, that is another story. But during this class, I will not be teaching this. Okay. Later on, may be possible that I make some additional video for that. Okay. Right now we are not covering. So let's start today. The determination of new profit sharing ratio and gain ratio. Right. So very first, let's talk about determination of new profit sharing ratio. Okay. Like I told you, whenever any partner retires from the partnership firm, then at that point of time, the profit sharing ratio is going to change, right? So in case of retirement of a partner, new profit sharing ratio means the ratio in which the remaining partners, or we call them continuing partners, decide to share future profit and losses, right? Okay. One more thing, let me tell you. When a partner gets retired, then he loses his share and his share is acquired by the remaining partners. So, consequently, the remaining partners have new profit sharing ratio now. Okay, so we can say that what is the new profit sharing ratio of a remaining partner? Just his old share of profit plus share acquired by him from retiring partner. Okay, I just write it down here. Alright. So this has to be done. Fine. Now, the determination of new profit sharing ratio can be required in two cases. Means there can be two possible cases. Okay. One case when in the question new profit sharing ratio of the remaining partners is not given. I just give you example. Say for example, there are three partners A, B, C. Okay, and they are sharing their ratio 3:2:1. Right now, C gets retired. Okay, only this is given in the question. No further information is given. So in that case, what is going to happen? His share was there 1/6. Right? Okay, means A's new share. What will be his new share? Earlier he was getting 3/6 plus. In this share, he is going to get some share. So there will be two parts of this, 3/5 and 2/5, because their ratio is 3:2. Right? According to that, whatever ratio comes here, that will be added here, and that will be his new share. Understood the point? Okay. This portion will come here. Similarly, for B's new share, earlier the B was getting 2/6 plus he will get 2/5 of this share, and that will be added. Got the point? So this is the way to calculate. Okay. But this is what the case 1. Case 1 means when new profit sharing ratio is not given in the question. Now the case 2, when new profit sharing ratio is given, or we can say the remaining partners acquire the share from the retiring partner in some certain ratio. Okay, we can call it by any situation, but the situation is only one, that some hints to calculate new profit sharing ratio are given. Understood the point? So in that case, there can be multiple possibilities, right? Okay, I just give you one possibility in the same question. Let's assume C retires, and after that A and B decide that they will share profit and loss between each other to 1:1 ratio. Okay, so means that is their new profit sharing ratio. Okay, it is given. So this is the condition. Another possibility can be there, like it is given in the question, then A and B share this 1 by 6 means share of retiring partner in 1:2 ratio. Okay, so that is a kind of possibility. Understood? Or it can also be given in the question, say for example, that they decide entire 1 by 6 portion will be acquired by B. A will not get anything. Right? So this is also a possibility. Right? So in that case, we need to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Okay, so in short, we can say in case number 2, new profit sharing ratio is not given, right? There are some hints given to calculate that. Okay, so we need to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Okay, right? So it was all about the theoretical part of calculation of new profit sharing ratio. In the next video, I'll have some numerical questions so that we can attempt all kind of possibilities and I can explain you how it is done, right? Now let's move further. So, determination of gaining ratio. See, whenever a partner gets retired or dies, so in that case, he is going to lose his share and this share is going to be acquired by the remaining partner, right? So, the ratio in which the remaining partners acquire the share of retiring partners is known as the gaining ratio, right? It is necessary to calculate it. Why? Explain. At the time of admission of a partner, we calculate the sacrificing ratio. Why? So that compensation of sacrificing the share can be determined and can be paid to the sacrificing partner by the new or incoming partner in form of premium for goodwill. Similarly, at the time of retirement of partner, the outgoing partner needs to be compensated for losing his share or sacrificing his share. Okay, and here the remaining partners are going to gain his share, so they are supposed to compensate him in form of premium for goodwill, and for the same the calculation of gaining ratio is necessary, right? So that is why it is calculated. And how it is calculated? It's very easy. Okay, just from the new share of remaining partner deduct the old share of remaining partner, then what you get? Gained share of a partner. Okay, and when it is calculated for 2 or 3 more partners, then you can equalize them and you can get the gaining ratio between or among the partners. I just write it down here, right? Gain share is equal to new share of a partner minus old share of a partner. Okay, say for example, new share is 1 by 2 and the old share was 1 by 4. Okay, then what is the gain share? 1 by 4. 1 by 4 is the gain share. Okay, so we'll calculate for as many partners are remaining in the firm. Say for example, only 2 partners are remaining, A, B, C were there, C got retired and A and B are there. Okay, and the both are gaining 1 by 4. Okay, so their gaining ratio will be 1:1. Understood the point? Okay. So determination of gaining ratio is also done in 2 cases. Case number 1, when there is no agreement, means partners have not decided that they should gain the retiring partner share in some particular ratio or not. Okay, or we can call the situation when new profit sharing ratio is not given. Okay, another situation when there is the agreement between the remaining partners to get the share from the retiring partner in some certain ratio, some specific ratio, right? So whenever partners have this agreement, then they are going to get the share of retiring partner as a gain, but in some specified ratios. So this is what the second situation. Or we can simply call it when new profit sharing ratio is given, or some kind of hints are given, right? So there are only 2 situations. Whenever I am attempting the numerical question on these, I'll explain you them in detail, right? Now let's move further. Okay, now what topic we have? Difference between sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio. From the exam point of view, this question is important, so often it is asked in 3 marks or in 1 mark. Okay, so it's necessary to have discussion on it. Let's have discussion on it. Okay. So friends, Difference between sacrificing and gaining ratio. So there are four bases on which we will compare both of them. So very first base is meaning. Already you know the meaning. Let's read them again. So sacrificing ratio is the ratio in which the all partners have agreed to sacrifice their shares in profits in favor of the new or incoming partner. Okay, like I told you, the sacrificing ratio is generally calculated at the time of admission of a partner. So whenever a new partner gets admitted to the firm, obviously the old partners are supposed to sacrifice their share. Okay, now let's talk about the gaining ratio. It is the ratio in which the remaining partners acquire the outgoing partner's share. And who is the outgoing partner? Retired or deceased, means either he has got retired or he has died, right? So gaining ratio is generally calculated at that time, right? Because the partner who is going, obviously his share will no longer exist now. So his share will be acquired by the remaining partner. So that is why gaining ratio is calculated at that time. Now let's talk about objective. So in case of sacrificing ratio, it is calculated to determine the amount of compensation to be paid by the incoming partner to the sacrificing partners as premium for goodwill. You must have seen in all the numerical questions, okay, whenever a new partner comes, he brings some amount as premium for goodwill, okay, and that amount is compensated to the sacrificing partner. Okay, so that is what the objective behind it. If we talk about gaining ratio, what is the objective? It is calculated to determine the amount of compensation to be paid by each of the gaining partner to the outgoing partner as premium for goodwill. Means when the old partner gets retired or he dies, okay, so he also needs to be compensated. So for the calculation of that compensation amount, this gaining ratio is calculated and the remaining partners are supposed to pay the amount of compensation in form of premium for goodwill. Okay, very soon we'll be learning about it. Now base number 3, when to calculate. So sacrificing ratio is calculated at the time of admission of a new partner, like I told you, and change in the profit sharing ratio. Okay, both are calculated at that time. We have already learned that. Gaining ratio, it is calculated at the time of retirement or death of a partner, and change in the profit sharing ratio. So you must notice that change in the profit sharing ratio is common. That is why at the time of calculation of sacrificing or gaining ratio, in the chapter change in the profit sharing ratio, we used to write calculation of gaining oblique sacrificing ratio, because at that point of time we did not know. Whenever partners change their ratio, then may be possible somebody is gaining and somebody is losing. Okay, but at the time of admission and retirement or death, it is confirmed that who is gaining and who is losing, right? So at the time of admission, it is confirmed the old partners are going to sacrifice, okay, and incoming partner is going to gain. Similarly, at the time of retirement or death, it is confirmed that the outgoing partner is going to sacrifice and the remaining partners are going to gain, right? The basis number 4, method of calculation. So this is what the formula: sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio, and gaining ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. This formula already we have learned in chapter number 4. Okay, we used to apply only a single formula there: sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. If your answer comes in positive, it means the partner is sacrificing. If the answer comes in negative, then the partner is gaining. Okay, so you can apply two formulas, you can apply single formula. Okay, it's up to you, right? So this is how the sacrificing and gaining ratio differ each other, right? So friends, it was all about today's section. Very soon I am going to meet you in the next video, in which we will have numerical questions on determination of new profit sharing ratio as well as on gaining ratio, right? Till then, thank you, bye bye.